Jay Sorensen, Big Jay Sorensen. So welcome, Joey and Jay, to WBBZ TV yet again.
One of the things that got me into radio when I was able to listen to KB from a distance, because it had such a huge signal back then.
Because Jay, you're from the New Jersey, Philadelphia.
I'm from New Jersey, Philadelphia, South Jersey area, and I used to listen to this man on the radio and say, wow, if I could only do that someday. In fact, I met him at a radio station in New Jersey. He came to visit one day and stayed 2 years. And he did, and ran the station, and it was an experiment of something that was so off the wall on an AM daytime station, and he called it Sunrise Sunset 11/7 Radio. And I was a radio groupie, if you will. I loved it.
I've had 40.
And I adored him in Philadelphia. I mean, absolutely, his program was just incredible. And again, I rediscovered what I wanted to do. Joey got the job to replace Howard Stern at 66 WNBC, which doesn't exist anymore. It's WFAN radio. Anyway, he called me up one day and said, they don't want any of the people that I want from Philadelphia that he had worked previously with. So he said, come up and I want you to be my sidekick.
Here's the exact expression.
Yeah.
No more scatological humor. Now, the bad news is I didn't know what the hell scatological was.
And I went for 4 interviews, and they finally hired me because they thought I could reel him in. So that picture there was the ensemble that we ended up with, the producers in the background.
So this was in the 1980s.
This is 1986. He includes people. He wants to bring them in to make them shine. And he's done that for me, and I ended up, being at satellite radio, and I've been on WCBS FM in New York for 7 years.
101.1 WCBS FM, New York.
I'm shaking it, and nothing's happening. You know what I mean?
CBS FM, Big Jay.
You got CBS FM on your device of choice, and I thank you very much for having it on today. It's CBS FM, and it's hit New York now. Yep, France's famous Dukan diet. It's been making noise here in Fun City. Problem is, most people mishear the name and think you can shed pounds by eating nothing but Dunkin' Donuts.
And again, it all somehow came together.
Yeah, but you know what? And then you can run the
You've been
state.
dying for the last 15 minutes.
Thanks, Joey Reynolds and Jay Sorensen, for sharing some time with us.
CBS FM 101.1, Big Jay Sorensen.
Always happy to hear you on CBS FM.
Well, it's always happy to be anywhere, you know what I mean? It's Santana, CBS FM.
Now, CBS FM's March Music Matchup.
All right, it's brought to you by Frank's Red Hot Sauce. Enter the Frank's Red Hot Buffalo Chicken Dip Dance Contest on Facebook today. The Beatles now take on another Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member in the second round. Winner of this challenge will move on to the Super 16 tomorrow morning with Sweet Sue O'Neill. So, ladies and gentlemen, we start off with the Fab Four.
I want to say you have a lot of courage to do this kind of a show, really do. And I think it was a very meaningful discussion tonight. Kudos to Joey for making this a national documentary, which may open the eyes of people and all the lawmakers and all the doctors and everyone involved. I think it takes a lot of courage to take an issue like this head on, and congratulations.
1-800-367-1101. You call up right now. It's going to be hard, right?
I know.
Truly. All right, Neil Diamond against the Beatles. You vote now.
Where it began.
Named after Caroline Kennedy, actually, in real life. It's a true story. It's a CBS FM 101.1, New York Town. I'm your biggest Jay on the radio and on the internet and everywhere else I can be. I just float through the air all the time.
I want to introduce you to Jay Sorensen from WCBS Radio in New York City. And what's your connection with Joey?
Well, I worked with him at WNBC. We took Howard Stern's place. Some people know Howard Stern. He's sort of infamous. But Joey is equally as infamous as well. And I hooked up with him years and years ago at a little station a long time ago. And we've been together since. We did a TV show in New York City. I've done a lot of work with him. And he's a legend. And he's just truly a marvelous man.
Jay Sorensen, my good friend from WCBS FM in New York. Give us the question.
We have whose theme song was Thanks for the Memories. Was it A, Bob Hope, B, Frank Sinatra, or C, Tony Bennett?
101 weather.
Just ahead of Way Too Much Music and March Music Matchup, again coming up with a new one. Mr. G's Forecast is brought to you by Sleepy's, the mattress professionals, the most trusted name in mattresses. Sleepy's, the mattress professionals. And if you're doing that traveling thing right now in the afternoon all over the New York metropolitan area and way beyond, it's 47 degrees downtown New York City, baby. That's right.
CBS FM.
We want you to tell us how fast you drive.
Absolutely, and just be honest about it. You know, if you drive 80 miles an hour and are proud of it, just go right ahead and tell us.
And do women exceed the speed limit?
Women drive like maniacs. Toll free on your Southwestern Bell wireless at pound 570. And should you be outside the Metroplex right now, booking.
You know, what's the real reason, I wonder, behind this changing?
Money.
Money.
You think so?
Money.
Of course.
I was a little off on the key. Here we go.
Money. There you go.
Little OJ's for you. Number 5 this week. What?
I get paid by the ton, by the mile. And
So does Jay.
I'm making a day, the more money I make, so I'm not going to do the speed limit.
Well, okay, but you know what? I have to beg you, sir. If you're driving, if you have one of those triple things that you have.
Triple digits.
Yeah, triple digits. You need to slow your ass down now because you are a menace to the highway, sir. You are a menace.
And he's hauling rocks.
Yeah, what happens if you tipped over?
And we are the king and queen of useless information.
And say, indeed, that is the case. It's a money-making for the thing for the government.
And they're still waiting for the signs and materials.
What are these materials? Coming up on Talk Radio 570 KLIF.
No wonder the ice cream man and the junkies weren't in a good humor yesterday.
You're funny, too, man.
I'm sorry. Here, Chicago, just you and me at CBS FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world,